Hi, Jeff here from Michigan Michael Chekhov Classes. Back again to talk about some things that may be controversial, but also something that I really believe in, and that is acting classes. In fact, I believe in this so much that this video is only part one of two. So let's get to it. Now, if you live in New York, LA, Chicago, or San Francisco, you probably already know that acting classes are an essential part of the actor's life. They're something actors budget for and try to go to as often as possible. At these classes, you might see a wide variety of people in your class, from non-actors or people just starting out to seasoned professionals with years of experience under their belt. However, if you live in a smaller market like I do, you might find that there is either a lack of classes to attend or a certain mentality amongst the community that they simply don't have to go to classes. There's a lot of reasons for this. It's too expensive, they say, or they already have a technique or training or a degree. They might feel that they work too much or too little to attend a class, or that no one around is qualified to teach them anything. Or they might say they have better things to do with their time, like sitting in a dark room and crying. So first, I want to say that if you live in a market which supports professional acting to a greater or lesser degree, then there are definitely classes around you that are worthwhile. Here in Detroit, there are many classes and coaches available to help you get better and keep you working on your craft. Yes, I offer classes here in Michigan and would love for you to give us a try. But if you live in Metro Detroit, there are other great teachers and classes within a short drive from you that you can get something from. If not me, then you should really look somewhere else to find an acting class or workshop or hire a coach so that you can get the most out of yourself and your art. So, here are 3 reasons why you need to take an acting class if you live in a smaller market. Competition. Look, here's the good news. In Metro Detroit and similar areas, there are fewer actors to compete with, and that's a fact. The bad news is that there are fewer theaters, individual productions, and films to audition for as well. A mentor of mine in college once said to me that as far as acting skill is concerned, if you're in the top 15% of your theater program, then you will be pretty much the top 15% wherever you go. Over the years, I have found this to be pretty much correct, and that's great. But being the top 15% doesn't get you work necessarily. There's so much that is out of your control. Getting the role has little to nothing to do with how good you are. It has to do with how right you are for the role and the director's vision. Still, the more you learn, the better you get. The better you get, the better your chances are of making an impact in your audition. Just because you weren't exactly right for a particular role doesn't mean that the director won't keep you in mind in the future if you gave a killer audition. Acting is a business, and you owe it to your business to continue investing in it and improving your product for the audience, casting directors, agents, etc. You have to continue to strive to improve your overall product, and classes are the best way to do that. For the love of the craft. You've all been to those auditions where you've run into your friends and all they do is moan and complain about this or that theater company or director or agency or whatever. According to them, it seems like every theater is doing crappy shows and hiring crappy actors with crappy directors. You leave the audition feeling more run down and depressed than ever. Being around that kind of thing on a constant basis can really diminish your love of acting. Over time, you may even forget the reason you fell in love with acting in the first place. Eventually, it will burn you out on acting altogether. The light just goes out of your eyes. This thing that you used to live for will no longer give you the joy and feeling of fulfillment that it used to. You may love acting now, but unless you allow acting to love you back, that relationship will die. And really, there are only 2 ways to do that. 1, find yourself in a project that fulfills you artistically. Or 2, Take a class that reminds you that you are an artist and not just some cog in someone else's wheel. For most of us, the first thing is up to luck and timing. There are actors out there who will audition for anything and are just happy to get the chance to play. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, if you are the type of actor who needs to feel inspired and artistically fulfilled once in a while, or all of the while, then maybe consider taking a class to supplement that need. Being around your tribe. Theater and film people are weird. We have our own way of looking at the world, our own language, our own way of relating to each other. Theater and film people learn early that no one outside the industry looks at the world quite the way we do. Not being around our tribe can be depressing and uninspiring. We need each other to keep us sane in an insane world. Or maybe vice versa. What's more, meeting other actors can lead to networking. What starts as some classroom bonding may turn into a joint film project, a new theater company, a role somewhere in the near or distant future. Remember, your scene partner today may be the artistic director of your dream theater tomorrow. It's my personal belief that a theater or film community is only as strong as the local availability of continued training for professionals in the craft. Chicago, New York, LA, San Francisco have incredible schools and classes separate from the collegiate structure for professionals to study and learn skills that they immediately give back to their local community. These classes inspire local performing artists to take more chances, spearheading their own artistic ventures, and build on each other to further improve and strengthen the artistic community as a whole. Communities without this strong underlying educational structure tend to stagnate. Film and theatrical communities become focused exclusively on product without process. This in turn creates a mentality of theater or film for its own sake, rather than for a joint artistic purpose or vision. With an underlying educational structure, a community starts to define itself by its artistic approach. For example, there is an often unspoken but nevertheless understood meaning of what a Chicago actor is. Casting directors around the country certainly have an idea of what it is. The same is true for New York actors, LA actors, London actors, etc. And yet, what is the Detroit actor? I'll try to answer that next time, so stay tuned. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I also love to answer your questions, so if you have one, don't forget to leave it in the comments. See you guys later.